It has happened. Will Levis was not picked in round one. And in fact, if 32 picks typically make up round one, he wouldn't have been picked in round one anyway. But he did go 33rd overall after the Tennessee Titans took him on day two of the NFL draft. Ryan Tannehill in the last year of his deal. Titans can move on from him. Maybe the Titans thought they had something in Malik Willis last year. Can't think that anymore. Will Levis, quarterback of the future of the Tennessee Titans. Question mark? Heath, what do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely say question mark. One of the things I do when I'm putting my dynasty rankings together is like I give them a risk factor. And 0 0.5 is I'm not sure they're ever going to be a full-time starter. And that's where I would put Will Levis. I think upside factor, it's pretty good. There's a lot of tools there. There's rushing ability there. There's a nose for the end zone as a rusher. But his floor is really, really low, especially since he wasn't drafted in the first round.
Sure. And there is obvious concern because the draft capital spent was not a first round pick. He's not getting the same type of a contract on a 4-year deal for sure, not a 5-year deal. There's no 5th-year option for Will Levis. So the Titans could feasibly take a look at him this year and next year and say, you know what? He's not the guy. Or they might be able to work with him. And he has progressed throughout his career. I would say he regressed last year. And just to kind of give a very, very quick overview on Will Levis, not the best prospect coming out of high school in Connecticut. Went to Penn State, was used as basically a wildcat quarterback at Penn State. Did a good job. Couldn't beat out a guy named Sean Clifford, who might not even get drafted into the National Football League for that job in Penn State. And at one point was benched for the third string quarterback. He left Penn State. He went to Kentucky. That Kentucky team in 2021, 11 wins at Kentucky. Did a great job connecting with Wan'Dale Robinson. You've heard us talk about Wan'Dale on the podcast. And then last year, toe injury, shoulder injury, and he just really didn't look like the same guy, in my opinion, in 2022 as he did in 2021. Power arm type of quarterback, definitely has mobility on his side. Obviously, if he was a wildcat quarterback, he's got rushing potential too. So there is, if he gets himself right, Heath, there is a chance for him to be pretty good for fantasy.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is you look at this, and he's going to be 24 years old, I believe, week one, which is not the best sign. You like those younger prospects, and going to the Titans, not exactly the place we think of where, yeah, you get to Tennessee and you're going to have some fantasy success as a quarterback, until, at least as long as Mike Vrabel's there. So, yeah, I think that there's absolutely reason to think that he could be the starting quarterback for 10 years of the Tennessee Titans, and he might have a couple of top 12 seasons as well. But I think the difference between him and the other 3 quarterbacks that were drafted, well, you see it in the way that the NFL viewed them.
Yes. And so you might get lucky to get a couple of top 12 seasons out of Levis. Maybe it gets a little bit better than that. But the Titans' MO, what has it been since Mike Vrabel's been there? Big, physical, tough team. And this is a big, physical, tough quarterback. I don't think anybody's using him in redraft. I mean, you're going to have to wait to hear about how he's made unbelievable strides in training camp to even put him on your radar in redraft leagues.
I would expect that as of right now, the Titans' plan is that he doesn't play this year.
Or he plays until their season goes south, or he doesn't play, rather, until their season goes south.
I don't think Mike Vrabel's probably going in with the idea of a rebuilding year.
Of course not. But if it ends up becoming one, maybe Tannehill's someone they trade at the deadline, and then Will Levis takes over. No, redraft, no. I can't take Will Levis. 2 quarterback leagues, you want to stash him late, I'm not going to fight you on it. But he might just be taking up a roster spot. We don't know. Wait till August to get a little bit more clarity. Heath, where does he stack up in Dynasty?
Well, and there's a big range, 1 quarterback versus 2 quarterback, and contender versus non-contender. In my initial run, he came out at QB 19, which is 1 spot behind Trey Lance and Kenny Pickett. As far as the young guys goes, just ahead of Jordan Love and Sam Howell, right in that number 2 quarterback. But there's also a lot of quarterbacks in that range: Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, that you would obviously much rather have if you're a contender, but have absolutely no value at all to a team who is rebuilding. So it gets sticky in that range of the quarterbacks. But I'd say low-end number 2 quarterback with the hope that maybe he could be a Daniel Jones.
Somebody that you're going to have to stash on your bench in Dynasty for maybe 2 years before you actually start to get some benefits from him. Keep that in mind in your rookie-only drafts. That's it for Will Levis on the Tennessee Titans. More on our YouTube page, which you're watching right now. Like and subscribe to Fantasy Football Today.